This video explains how to compute longest path using all enumeration. First of all, we have to read the problem. Back to our problem. This company has some project, and this project has actually 10 activities. Each activity has some description and duration and their predecessor and successor relationship. And based on this, you have to construct this network diagram, AON network diagram. AON stands for activity on node. We express all activity on node, so that's why we say AON. So based on this AON network, we can recognize predecessor and the successor information. A, B are predecessor of C. C, in other words, C is a successor of A and B respectively. So based on all this information, we can compute ES, EF, LS, LF, and also you can compute select variable. So you can watch other video to compute this ES, EF, LS, LF. But today we compute the critical activity and path for all this. To do that, we have to list up all possible paths. So based on this, if we go to this node, this activity network, then we can, there are two starting point and one ending point. A and B are starting point and J is a starting point. From A to J or B to J, and we have several paths. A, C, F, G, J, that is one path. A, C, D, E, G, J is another path, and A, C, D, E, H, J, another one. A, C, D, E, I, J, also B, C, F, G, J, B, C, D, E, J, G, J, B, C, D, E, H, J, B, C, D, E, I, J. So we have all these possible paths. And based on this, we can compute their total duration. Total duration, we have to compute total duration for each path. Back to here, we have this path and we will use Excel. So first of all, we can compute, we can list up all path information, A, C, F, G, J, and A, C, D, E, G, J, and A, C, D, E, H, J, A, C, D, E, I, J, and B, C, F, G, J, B, C, D, E, G, J, B, C, D, E, H, J, B, C, D, E, I, J. And then now we have duration information, activity A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And for each activity, we have their duration. A has 2, B 3, C 3, D 5, E 2, F 3, G 3, H 3, I 3, J 2. Then we will say these are duration. Then to compute the total duration, we will use function. So to do that, before that, you can add a name. To create name, you can click formulas and create from selection and click OK. But for this case, your name is in right column, not left not left, right column. So click OK. And first of all, for ACFGJ, then you just type 1 here, 1 for A, skip B because B is not on the path, C1, F1, G1, J1. Then we can use a sum product. Sum product is actually product multiplication, and we can add, that is sum product, sum of a product. Product is multiplication. So now you just type sum product and duration, comma. We used this coefficient. This means sum product of this means multiply 2 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 1 plus 1. So actually this is wrong. J has 2. So make sure we have right number. Right. And for this case, this sum product is simply we just select A node, C node, F node, G node, J using coefficient 1. So other coefficient blank is actually 0. So we skip B, D, E, H, I, right? Then using the same idea, for second path, we can type 1 for A, 1 for C, 1 for D, 1 for E, 1 for G, 1 for J. Then we just copy of this. So if you double click, then for this case you have a duration and the coefficient of 1s for activity A and C, D, E, G, J, right? And how about next one? So again, you can type 1 for A, 1 for C, 1 for D, 1 for E, 1 for H, finally 1 for J. Then we have duration is 17. Next one, 1 for A, 1 for C, 1 for D, 1 for E, 1 for I, and finally J. Right? That is also 17. How about next one? So 1 for B, 1 for C, 1 for F, 1 for G, and finally J. So then the completion time is 14. Next, we have 1 for B, 1 for C, 1 for D, 1 for E, 1 for G, and finally J. And here the longest path is 18. I mean, but other path it takes shorter, means they have to complete the B, C, F, G, J, then it takes only 14 minutes, but they have to complete all this path, means they have to complete B, C, D, E, G, J. It takes 18 weeks, means this longest path so far is critical path, means they cannot finish no earlier than 18 weeks, right? And next one, we can type 1 for B, 1 for C, 1 for D, 1 for E, 1 for H, and 1 for J. So this is also 18. And finally, 1 for B, 1 for C, 1 for D, 1 for E, 1 for I, and 1 for J. Then actually this 3 has the longest time. That is actually our critical path. Actually, we have 3 critical paths. And for this critical path, what activities are on this critical path? Actually, B, C, D, E, G, H, I, J. So these activities are critical path. How about AF? AF, it's not on critical path. So here, if you look at here, so now let's try to exploit activity F. It takes 3 weeks right now, but if you save time, I mean 2, if you change 2, what happened? Nothing happened to critical path. They did not change anything, right? But how about D? D, if you save time by 1 week, then the total duration will be 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks. So then I will change this 4 weeks. Then total duration, the longest time will decrease to 17. If you save this activity D, then you can save whole critical path. You can save time, not only critical path, but also whole system-wide. Right? So that is a crashing idea. So this time we can generate all possible paths, and based on this individual path, and we just use a coefficient ones, and then you can use a sum product function. Using this sum product function, and then we can figure out the longest path.